Hey, it's Grips. Thanks for joining me. I'm not feeling like myself today. Okay, well, at least I'm feeling more like myself again. Just goofing off. All right, so the suction effect. Now, there's two ways to do it. I'm going to show you the first way, which is so simple, you can be done within 1 minute. So place the footage onto your timeline, grab your Boris filter, place it onto your footage, and go straight into Customs Filter. If you haven't got it, just double click Customs Filter, Advanced Mode, and there you go. We won't be needing the text track, so we'll delete that. And then we're just going to click and drag this text up, or this track up. So hold down your mouse key and drag it up, and then release. Now you'll see it turn into video 1, and I did show you this in the last tutorial. And then now we have all the control options that we have on all the effects. I'm going to change the layout so you can follow it a little bit easier. Normally I don't do this, but for this one I want to do it this way so you can really clearly see what's going on. All we're going to do is add one filter. We're going to go up to the filter here, distortion perspective, 2D particles. Now in your presets you got current. If I left click, I'm going to see here central suction, and believe it or not, you're done. And you can see it just does exactly what you want. So that's the most easiest way to do it. If you want to move the point of suction, go into the Move tab. You'll see a blue crosshair pop up, and then just place it wherever you want. And if you really want to be creative, you can actually move that as the timeline goes along by using keyframes. I'm not here to explain how keyframes work. So that's the easiest way, but I will show you a different way as well, and that is going to be using a displacement map. So I'm going to delete this filter. I'm going to go back into my filters and distortion perspective, and I'm going to grab the polar displacement. Now, polar displacement is a very powerful tool. You can do so much with it, but for this tutorial I'll show you how I did the suction effect, and I did it with the polar displacement. So the first thing I did, I went into the pinning tab, and it says pin edges. No, I don't want that, because if I have that on, then it will just stay on the edges. So drop down and I'll have no pinning. So you can already see now that it's already released on the edges. And if you don't want that to look like that from the start, fear not, I'll show you how to fix that. So we go back in here, and you can virtually just change the way that looks. So now we're back where the photos full scale. And again, we can move the point of where the suction happens. And realistically, it isn't that bad or that hard. What we're going to do here is we're going to increase the master displacement. If I hover my mouse over these numbers and then hold down my left key, you'll see a left and right arrow appear, and that means I can drag this much bigger than I can using the slider here. Watch. If I use the slider here, I'm going to max out at about 200. And as you can see, it's not that big. I'm going to scroll out. I'm going to now hover my mouse over the numbers, hold down my left key, and now look what I can do. Look how big it gets now. It goes right up to 1,000. So bear that in mind, that these will have its limitations. I don't know why Boris created it this way. He probably has a very good reason, but I can't think of it. So I'm going to scroll in again so we can see what's going on. So I would go all the way to 1,000, and then I'm going to use here the displacement. So I can really bring in the displacement. Oh, look at that. It's the first time my computer's actually done that. I had to think about what we're doing. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Anyway. All right, so you can see the effect what's happening here now, but you can see there's still traces left over. So what we need to do is, it's obviously black, so we're going to choose the black channel, and you'll see that now disappears. So that is how I did it with the displacement map. Now the reason why I'm showing you this, because you have a little bit more options here, as far as seeing the residue left over, you may want that effect. You may want to do these type of effects where you still have some residual left over. So again, I'm just giving you more options to work with. But use the shader and then the suction preset, and it does it the exact same way. All right, and that is basically how I did the suction effect. And as always, thanks for watching.